Truth. They have their own agenda. At GJRB, I have mine, telling you what's really going on with sources like End Time Headlines, InfoWars, Coast to Coast AM, and most importantly, CBN News, keeping you on top of what's happening at the top and bottom of each hour during the Gary Russen program. I'll give you the news and analysis of what I think with Gary J's News and Comment. Get the real news, true news, news that's not in the mainstream on GJRB. It was the year World War II ended, and the troops came home, and the music was fabulous, with big hits from Perry Como, Judy Garland, and the Andrews Sisters. The year was 1945. Listen to the year in music on the next Swing Time. I'm Gary Russen, and I'll be featuring the biggest hits from that year, along with trivial information about the prices of items such as groceries, the news events, the culture of 1945 on the next Swing Time. After 1 year, the wait is over. Now join Pastor Ron Johnston and a panel of men and women to discuss the news and how it lines up with Bible prophecy. In this world of chaos and upheaval, this is the program that puts it all into perspective. How will we survive? God only knows. So trust Him and listen to the last 7 days. Uploaded as a podcast or live every third Friday at 12 o'clock noon Central on GJRB Online. It's that time of year once again, spring. A time when the weather gets warm and the flowers bloom, and GJRB is starting new programs and bringing back older ones that haven't been on for a while. It's the GJRB Spring Spectacular. All new programs and old ones returning, like Radioland, Gary J's Radio and Television Classics under a new name. Radio, television, and movie classics, featuring not just radio and television broadcast rarities, but also intermissions from drive-in movie theaters and indoor theaters too. Old movie trailers and movie trivia. The Spring Spectacular will also mean the return of the blues with Gary J's Blues House and country bluegrass with Bluegrass Jubilee. New additions to the Gary Russen program, including The Man on the Street, as I take my voice recorder to the streets of Clinton and ask people their opinions on what's going on in the news and lighter fun stuff. GJRB Spring Spectacular starts in April on GJRB. Now, a memorable moment from a past Gary Russen program. I don't know. Let me see. I cannot find it. Here it is. Here we go. Scotty Moore. Scotty Moore. The legendary guitarist for Elvis Presley. He's a guitarist for Elvis Presley from 1954. He played classics, a lot of his classics like That's All Right, Good Rockin' Tonight, Milk Cow Blues, Baby Let's Play House, Heartbreak Hotel, Mystery Train, Blue Suede Shoes, all those. Hound Dog, Too Much, Jailhouse Rock. He played them all. Scotty Moore. He was in 4 Elvis Presley movies, including Jailhouse Rock, King Creole, and G.I. Blues. He also played in 1960. He took a job in the production manager for Sam Phillips on Sun Records. And continued to work with Elvis on songs like Good Luck Charm and Devil in Disguise and the Bossa Nova Baby. And then later on, he was fired at Sun Records. Yep, Phillips fired him in 1964, but he continued recording with Elvis with the guitar to change the world. And also reunited Elvis in the 1968 television special. He was part of that. He was part of that 1968 television special, which was the Elvis Presley comeback special. I remember that. That was my early years when I wanted to be a DJ. I used to see all the DJs on TV, and I thought it was a great job to do that. Yeah, it was, I remember this really well. As a matter of fact, Scotty Moore, well, that's a shame. Anyway, Scotty Moore played his last show in 2007 at the Peabody Hotel in Memphis. Scotty Moore died at the age of 84 in Tennessee. So we bid farewell to another great great talented man in the nation. It's a shame. Scotty Moore died. I don't know. It's a shame.
It was the year World War II ended, and the troops came home, and the music was fabulous, with big hits from Perry Como, Judy Garland, and the Andrews Sisters. The year was 1945. Listen to the year in music on the next Swing Time. I'm Gary Russen, and I'll be featuring the biggest hits from that year, along with trivial information about the prices of items such as groceries, the news events, the culture of 1945. On the next Swing Time.
Uploaded and published on the GJRB Spreaker public site Friday night, April 21st at 8 p.m.
Attention musicians, if you're starting a band or just starting a solo act on your own, go to the place on the internet where you can get equipment at great prices. HelloMusic.com. They have guitars, amps, mixers, and microphones, some at great low prices. Log on today and look at the equipment and the prices. www.hellomusic.com. Like them on Facebook for chances to win guitars, mics, and other band equipment. Remember the name, Hello Music.
This is Michael J. Martin, and you're listening to the Gary Russen program on GJRB Online.
And this is the last part of the Gary Russen program on GJRB Online. About 25 minutes left to go on our program today as we wrap up the Gary Russen program for today. And, of course, this is the Freestyle Monday edition. Getting into the last part of the last week before we get into our new season, which will be starting up. The new season is the GJRB programming season, the Spring Spectacular. Got some new programs coming up. I got some real neat stuff now. If you want details on that, it's available on our GJRB Spreaker public site. Okay, Spreaker public site. And there you will see the thing that says GJRB Schedule Update Podcast. And when you click onto that, you'll see the program. It's in two parts, and it explains everything that we're going to do during the spring season. All the programs, everything that's going to be on the air. Now, this next week, not this week, next week, because Thursday I'm recording Swing Time. It'll be next week. I'm going to be recording the video version of that, which will be uploaded on our GJRB YouTube channel. And you'll see visual schedule of our programming through the next couple of months into the summer. So watch for that. That's on our GJRB YouTube channel. And you'll be able to have a look at what we've got on the air during this Spring Spectacular. It's going to be pretty good. Now, I will not be on the air until next week, Tuesday the 11th, tentatively at 2 o'clock Central Time. We're going to go back to the 2 o'clock time slot, and we're going to do the Gary Russen program. We're going to do kind of like we did today, and we're going to talk a little bit more about different things. I'm going to pick up some more news stories, and we're going to have an interesting show. So this will be the last Gary Russen program before the season starts. And then we'll be having all the Gary Russen programs on schedule. And like I said before, coming up on the 24th, May 24th, just close to the Memorial Day weekend, I'm going to be doing the Gary Russen program on YouTube only. Won't be here on Spreaker, so don't look for it on here. It won't be on here. We're going to be on the GJRB TV YouTube channel. You can subscribe to that by just getting on there, getting on YouTube, or getting on there and just typing in Gary John Russen or Gary Russen. As a matter of fact, we have already a couple of people who liked a lot of our videos already,
and liked our radio station. So I'm hoping that we get some more listeners. Thank you. You can just get in there and you can watch the Gary Russen program on May 24th. I'm going to show you some of those videos that I was talking about earlier, including that car gets hit by lightning. I'm going to show you that one. I'm going to show you some things that were visual that you got to see that you won't believe. And it's going to be coming up on the Gary Russen program. And then I'm going to do a way out there version of that too, by the way. As I got those videos I want to talk about from that last way out there show we did. I'm going to play you that piece about that strange looking creature, that thing in the clouds in Zambia. I'm going to show you that picture, the video. It's weird, seriously weird. I mean, you got to check this thing out. I'm going to play it for you. It's going to be coming up. Video versions of the Gary Russen program and way out there coming up in May and June. Here on GJRB online on the GJRB TV YouTube channel. So watch for that. Okay, you'll see the Gary Russen and you'll see GJRB TV in parentheses, and you'll be there, and you can watch that and a lot of other videos I have on there, including older videos of our program schedule, which are old now. I'm going to take them off. But they're going to be taken off. You click those and you see snow, they're gone. Okay, I won't have them up there anymore, but they'll be there for you for a while until I get around to clicking those on and get rid of them. So I got a few videos, and I'll be putting up the video for that next week. So we'll have that video uploaded to the Spreaker GJRB TV YouTube channel. And it will be available for you, and you can watch that video, and you'll see all the program schedules. So, kind of like the X Broadcaster. I'm kind of playing around with it. Some things I don't get yet on it, but it's X Split, and it gives me a chance to show videos again, like I used to back on the old days of the Hangout. So, I could play videos and show you some stuff like I used to. So, it's going to be a video show coming up. And like I said, it's going to be on May 24th. And then that weekend, we're going to do a debut of a brand new show here. It's going to be called Gary J's Good Times, Great Oldies Show. 50s, 60s rock and roll. We're going to have a blast. I'm going to play you all those great rock and rollers, man. We're going to play them. It's going to be fantabulous. Gary J's Good Times, Great Oldies Show, debuting on Memorial Day weekend here on GJRB Online. So you want to check that out. What is Memorial Day weekend? Is that the 27th? I got to look on my calendar. I got a calendar up here. Let me check that real quick. Make sure I got the right weekend. Let's see. I'm not sure. Let me see. Memorial Day. Here's Victoria Day. Okay, Memorial Day. Memorial Day is Monday, May 29th. So yeah, I'm right. That weekend, the 27th, 28th, and 29th. The 27th is Saturday. Live, I think I got that slated. I'm not mistaken. I don't know if I have it in here. I think I have it on my schedule. 2 o'clock Central Time, I believe. 2 o'clock Central. And it's going to be 50s, 60s rock and roll. 50s, 60s, 70s, some 80s, but mostly 50s, 60s, and 70s. Good time rock and roll. It's going to be a great show, so I hope you'll tune in for that. Gary J's Good Times, Great Oldies Show. And it's going to be on GJRB Online here on Spreaker. And I know you're going to want to tune in for that. It's going to be a lot of fun. And let's see, what else do I got coming up? Oh yeah, I got a lot of good stuff. Got to fix the GJRB bike yet. Got to get a tire and an inner tube for it. And then we're going to be going out amongst the people of Clinton. And we're going to get some opinions and put them on the air as soon as I get my... Now see, what happened was I had a really neat little Sony voice recorder. It was an ICR. I used a lot in the air. Used it a lot for going out recording the last 7 days in Bible study. And then one day it croaked on me. Put the batteries in and it says air access. And I don't know if I can get into it anymore or not. I don't know if it's got a reset button. but I cannot get that to work, and we ordered a new one. I'm waiting for that to come in the mail, and when it does, I will be going back to regular programming the way we always do it here on GJRB and GJRB LPFM and Talk FM 108, all our stations that I use it on. So basically, that is how I'm going to be doing that. So next week, the Gary Russen program again on the 11th, and then on the 17th, Monday, April 17th, 2 o'clock Central. We'll start at noon. We're going to be on the air live at noon Central with some Christian rock hits, and then we're going to be on the air with the Positive Rock Show. That will be coming up. Now, we're going to have our church services first. Actually, that's how that goes. Never mind. Scratch that. Noon, CCF church services, recorded church services from our church here in Clinton that I go to, CCF, Christian Community Fellowship, and I record that service and I put it on the air. And right after that's over, I have some open space time. Usually I kind of fill in some time with some Christian rock hits. And then at 2 o'clock, live, is the return of the Positive Rock Show. Because we haven't had it on for a while. Positive Rock Show has been off the air since November. And for some odd reason, I don't know why, we've just been off the air since November. And it's a shame because I got some great new Christian rock artists coming up. Samuel Day, you get your songs back on the air. It's just we've have had that show on hiatus for several months. And it's going to come back, and we're going to have all new Christian rock hits. I'll be scouting for some new artists. So if you're a new Christian artist who has some new music, just send me it, GaryJ65@yahoo.com or GaryJ021361@gmail.com. And send me your MP3, and I'll review it. Arable stuff, which I think 99.9% is, I play it on the air. Right here on GJRB on the Positive Rock Show. And of course it gets played on the air during our regular music, our middle of the road format, and Gary J in the afternoon too as well. So because we have a great mix of music when we do that show. That's a show in which I have a wide mix of music. Wide mix. And we play a variety of all kinds of music, from Christian rock to regular secular rock, some oldies from the 50s and 60s and 70s, and play some cover songs. And you have a cover song you recorded. Let's hear it. Okay, we'll put it on the air right here. So join me for that. That's coming up. We got Gary J in the afternoon coming up that following Friday, which is the 21st. And then that it's GJRB music and Gary J in the afternoon. And then on the 22nd is the return. We'll have the return of Crooners. Now remember, we debuted that November, pretty close to Christmas, somewhere around December almost. Followed by the Gary J's Radio, Television, and Movie Classics. Okay, we got that coming up. Gary J's Radio, TV, and Movie Classics is coming up. So this is the schedule as we have it. That's going to be coming up. The Gary J's Radio, Television, and Movie Classics. Gary J in the afternoon, and I got the full schedule here. I wanted to see if I can go in there and get it real quick. Let's see here. Here's schedule update. Go down the page here. See if I can find it. So further down. Here we go. All right, yeah, I was right. April 22nd, 12 o'clock noon Central. Crooners. And then at 2 to 5, Gary J's Radio, Television, and Movie Classics. And I got a good show lined up for you. By the way, I'm looking at the 21st. We start with GJRB music at noon, Gary J in the afternoon at 2. And then that Friday night, Swing Time 003, about 1945, will be published at 8 p.m. Central Time. So you'll enjoy Swing Time and Crooners and Gary J's Radio, Television, and Movie Classics be the first big weekend of our season start on the 21st and 22nd on Podcast Weekend
right here on GJRB Online. And of course, all the details on all the program schedules are available on the GJRB Spreaker public site, where it says GJRB, or it says Podcast Weekend. Podcast GJRB Schedule Update Podcast. When you see that, just click it, play that podcast, and it will tell you all our program schedules. The full details are on there. And of course, I'll have a video version coming up next week on the GJRB YouTube channel. So you'll have all the details and all the programming. And I'm really looking forward to it. I mean, Radio TV Movie Classics is going to be all. I was going through that. I'm doing some prep for it. I've got some real more classics. I got answers to those trivia questions from back at Christmas. Some of those you probably didn't get yet, because I never did get any replies on some of those questions. So we're going to have answers to those. And I'll have some new questions coming up. And I'll also be answering those. I'll answer some new ones. And I have a actor profile on Buddy Epson from Beverly Hillbillies and Barnaby Jones. We're going to do a little bio on him, and I'm going to do I'm working on this one. I'm doing I call a profile. I do a profile on lost TV shows that kind of fade into the dust, and for some reason people have forgot about them. I've got a couple of them for you. You're going to check this out. Couple of them. I know you're going to want to check this show out. You're going to love it. And I'm going to do a profile on a lost TV show. It's going to be a profile, and I hope I find this stuff. Really looking to find it. I'm going to do a profile on Ghost Story and Circle of Fear. Remember those? It was on NBC on a Friday night in the 70s, I believe. It was hosted by Sebastian Cabot, famous for being Mr. French from Family Affair. He hosted this program. It's called Ghost Story and Circle of Fear. These were scary shows. They were anthology series that was on NBC on Friday nights. Anybody remember those? This is around the time, I don't know, I think that was just after Night Gallery was canceled. I'm not sure. I think so, but because they probably wanted more of that scary stuff on Friday nights. But I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to do a profile now. Gary Chase Radio, Television, and Movie Classics coming up on April 22nd at 2 o'clock Central, right here on GJRB Online. So check that out. That's the 22nd, April 22nd at 2 o'clock Central, right here on GJRB Online for Gary J's Radio, Television, and Movie Classics. It's going to be a great show. You're going to check that out. Well, I ran out of time. Looking at the clock right now, we've got about 9 minutes left of our show. So I wanted to just kind of touch up on some of the ones we did not talk about on the show. And those are the ones we're going to talk about next week on the Gary Russen program. Some of the stuff we did not touch and did not talk about and didn't get to on this program. Well, first of all, we lost television icon Chuck Barris in the obits. Chuck Barris died, and another Chuck died, Chuck Berry. We'll talk about those two. Chuck Barris was the one who hosted the game show, the one where he used to clap, and that one. Gong Show, and he claimed to be a assassin for the CIA. So I'll be talking about that. Let's see, if you have opinions on anything we talked about today. We didn't talk about Governor Moonbeam being the one that said, it's not Christian to put up a wall. The Lord won't like that. You're putting up a wall to keep the people in. No, you're not keeping the people in. You're keeping people out. They're undesirables. You're keeping people out who are, it's riff-raff. You've heard of riff-raff? Yeah, riff-raff.
That's what we're keeping out, Moonbeam. So we're going to talk about that, get your opinion on some of this. Another one we didn't talk about was Barack Obama's daughter. She broke the law. Yeah, Barack Obama's daughter. This is Malaya, I believe. Malaya. She broke the law. She must have apparently started a fight. She got into a adult nightclub, apparently, and I guess she started a fight. So we're going to talk about that one on Tuesday next week. And let's see, these are some of the ones we're going to talk about Tuesday next week. We talked about Sharia law. There's another one we're going to talk about. Burger King has announced that they're following steps to follow Islamic Sharia law. Yeah, Burger King is going to do it. They're going to start Islamic Sharia law. And we're going to talk about what they're going to do, actually, is they say they're going to take all the meat, whatever is offensive to them, off their menu. Now, they're doing this in France, apparently. Okay. So, if you're listening to this as a podcast, now I haven't really checked my Spreaker public site in a while, so I really don't know exactly if there's anybody listening at all or not. Really should check that. I'm going to go to my Spreaker public site real quick. As a matter of fact, it's 6 minutes to the hour of 6 o'clock. And since we're not going to really stay on for a long time today, we're going to kind of fade to dust tonight. And right after this is over, we're going to go in our 9-foot signal and Dan Patrick. I'm going to stay on the air until the end. I have 17 minutes and a half left to go. 17 and a half left to go. So I'm going to stay on till the end. Okay, we're staying on to the end. It's a little past 6 o'clock. And then we'll go off the air. But right now I'm going to stay on for another 17 minutes. And we're just going to go through some of the stuff we haven't talked about. And we'll talk about them. Okay, so if you're listening to this program as a podcast later on and you want to leave a message, drop me a message. You can do so. Just get on the GJRB Spreaker public site, and where you see the Gary Russen program 040317, and this is the final part. If you want to leave a message on there, if you want to leave it any other parts of the program, you're welcome to do so. And I will I look at my Spreaker public site, I look at my Twitter, I look at my Google Plus, I look at my Facebook, and I check to see if I have messages. So I will read your message on the air and acknowledge you. So please, if you're listening to this as a podcast, you can. I want to talk to you. So come on aboard. Let's see. Well, I don't know what this was from Conservative Tribune. I don't know what I put there. I'm not exactly sure. So I want to take a look real quick. Let me see what this is. I'm not sure until it comes up. Oh yeah. The Marine tells burners to meet him face to face. These are the guys who burn American flags. And he wants them to meet face to face with him. When Marine vet Eric posted this, he learned of a group of Portlanders who burned the American flag. They planned to meet on Inauguration Day, Oregon's Willamette National Cemetery, 2 days later, with a meaningful discussion and debate.
Like, it's your right to burn the flag? Okay. Maybe you can meet me up here sometime and we can take a tour. You can learn a little bit about sacrifice and pride and honor. I'm disappointed. And most importantly, I'm ashamed for the people that are buried here. I know I can't speak for all of them, but I know I can speak for many of them and many of the family members when they say that that's disgusting.
Yeah. Not surprisingly, not a single flag burner showed up, but it appeared in a debate, however, where people this did not stop others from showing up.
The problem that I personally have is when somebody looks at that flag and doesn't understand the complexity of what it actually is. For a loved one, that flag covered the coffin of that loved one coming home.
Yep.
They don't understand that. To the protesters that feel like it's okay to burn the flag, I ask them this: what are you trying to accomplish? They have something they want to say. They're not saying it in a way that we're going to listen.
Share this. So I shared it, and I will do it again because we're going to talk about this on the next show. Because this is, believe it or I mean, this is one of my pet peeves. Okay, this is one of my pet peeves. This aggravates me to no end. Every time I see flag burners on Facebook, and they burn flags and they make videos on Facebook, and it irritates me to no end, people. I'm telling you, this really makes me mad, and I'm going to talk about it on the next Gary Russen program next week, next Tuesday, the 11th. When we get back together on the April 11th Gary Russen program, I will be talking about flag burners. And I would love to get a hold of this guy. As a matter of fact, I'm going to try to. And see if I can get him to be on my show. Because I think that we need to talk about these people who burn flags. Okay, it's their right. It's their right. They have a right to burn that flag, apparently. They do. They have this right to burn that flag. I guess they just do. Even though it offends me, and I really feel for that Marine. I really do. I feel for that Marine. And it saddens me to see when people have disrespect for the American flag. People have disrespect for veterans. Like this guy who wants to vomit because a person gave up his second class or first class seat, whatever, for a soldier. I am sick of the lack of pride in the United States of America. I'm sick of it. I'm tired of people burning flags, stepping on them, and giving disrespect to the American flag in the United States of America. If you don't like this country, you pack up and you go. You don't have to live here. You do not have to live here. You don't have to. You can go. You don't need to stay here if you don't like America. But please, have respect for the flag. And like I said earlier, I posted this on Facebook about a couple of days ago about these about immigrants, the immigration. I don't have no problem. Like I said at the beginning of the program, I do not have no problem with foreigners coming into our shores. I have no problem with America having but they have to abide by our laws, by our rules, by the government laws. They have a desire to become an American and not come over here to live off our money and smuggle drugs over here in bananas or whatever you smuggle your drugs in. Tired of it. Just tired of America being disrespected. And we're going to talk about that next week. I'm going to try to get a hold of this guy. I don't know if I will. I'm going to see what I can do about getting a hold of him. I would love to have him on this program because we need to touch this subject. We really do. I'm really tired of people disrespecting our American flag. This is just, I'm done with it. Totally finished. I mean, I've had it. And so I'm going to talk about it. And you can bet, you can bet that I'm gonna have my licks on this. And you people who burn American flags, hey, you want to put your little 2 cents worth here on my chat room? Go ahead. Want to hear your excuse, your sorry excuse for burning an American flag? I want to hear it. I want to hear it. because I'm tired of it. So we're going to talk about that. Also got some other stuff we're going to do. I'm going to, let's see, I have, what else do I have coming up? Let's see, we'll look at some other stuff here. Let's see here. I want to go down here. Let's see here. Top of the ninth inning. Let's do an update of some scores before we go off. How about that? Philadelphia now up ahead of Cincinnati, 4-1. They're in the bottom of the top of the ninth inning, so that game's just about over. And it looks like Cincinnati's going to lose. I know a friend of mine who goes to our church who talks nothing about Cincinnati all the time. Minnesota. This is at the end of the eighth inning. Minnesota is ahead of Kansas City, 7-1. And Baltimore, final after 11 innings. That game is over. There was here we go. A Sanos solo blast. 3-2 Baltimore over Toronto. After 11 innings, RBI double. Contreras, RBI double. Yeah. How about that? Wow. Yeah. Let's see if we can get that on the air real quick here before we go. Let's see. Let me see if I get that volume here. Let me see if I can get the volume up here on this. Why is this not playing? Let me see if I have the volume up on this thing. I gotta prep better for this show, folks. Gotta tell you. Okay, let me see here. Okay. All right, let's try it now.
There goes the runner. Fair ball, just inside the back. Pierce is heading for third. They're going to give him the wave. Here's the relay. Scope has it, no throw. He double clutched and the Blue Jays have tied it.
Okay, that was a Blue Jays tie. That was a Blue Jays tie, and then I guess after that, well, you know. Anyhow, yeah, and what was it? Let me see. Got 6 minutes and 28 seconds left, so I'm going to just keep on going until we wrap up this show for today. Let's see here. What is it? Okay, well. Okay, I'm going to go pump back. Well, let me see. Not doing it, though. Okay, here we go. Anyway, that's what's going on in that game. The final 3-2. 3-2 in favor of well, whatever. Anyhow, I don't know, whatever it was, 3-2. So I'm gonna work on that. Sometimes I don't know. The thing I think that really aggravates me is that it jumps on me while I'm trying to read something. I think that's the rudest thing about this thing. It's the tablet and the computer. It's just like every time I want to read something, it jumps on me. So I've got to find another way to get material before the show. And it's just because my printer is low on ink. And I got to get some ink. And quite frankly, when I have ink, at least I do a better show because the ink won't jump on me because it's not live internet. So, I don't know. Just don't know why it does that. So I don't know, I got to clean the computer and the tablet before I go on the air. I think that's what it is. It's just that simple. Well, we're getting down to about 4 minutes and about 5 minutes left of the show. So, thought we'd just kind of wrap it up by once again reminding you that we will not be on the air until next Tuesday. Okay, next Tuesday. We've got a Gary Russen program for you next Tuesday. And let's see. We'll be on the air then with another show. And like I said before, we're going to talk about flag burners. We're going to talk about Governor Moonbeam and his little bit with the wall. We're going to talk about various other things, and your comments are welcome. So I hope you'll join me again next week, Tuesday afternoon, 2 o'clock Central, for the Gary Russen program here on GJRB Online on Spreaker. We're going to have a great show lined up for you, and it'll be our last show before the season starts. And we'll be going into a regular program at that time, and we'll talk about all kinds of stuff. And maybe I'll try to see if I can get that Marine as a guest. I don't know if I can or not. I'm going to try. And if I can't, well then, like I said before, we'll at least talk about it. And just talk about why it is that it just seems to aggravate me to no end how it just does aggravate me to no end how these people want to burn flags, you know. Just kind of really irritates me to no end. So we're going to talk about that. And our program schedule, we always do that on every show, including our music shows. So be aware of that. And might have a freestyle show. I don't know yet. I'm thinking about that. Depends on how things go. I'll probably, if we might be doing that freestyle, semi-freestyle, like a Wednesday. And so, of course, like I said, whenever I get any calls on this program, I usually stop everything and we just kind of put away the log and we do freestyle and we just have a fun time, because like like other radio talk shows, I make it fun. So, that's how that goes. So, you know that, right? So that's going to do it for the Gary Russen program here on GJRB. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Thanks a lot for being a part of the show. We'll catch you again real soon for another edition of the Gary Russen program next Tuesday, the 11th. Until then, have a great evening, everyone.
Attention musicians. You're starting a band or just starting a solo act on your own. Go to the place on the internet where you can get equipment at great prices. HelloMusic.com. They have guitars, amps, mixers, and microphones. Some at great low prices. Log on today and look at the equipment and the prices. www.hellomusic.com. Like them on Facebook for chances to win guitars, mics, and other band equipment. Remember the name Hello Music.
And we both passed really well. I think it's just open.
Program schedule on GJRB Online are subject to change. It can change. If they do, watch for GJRB Schedule Update podcast on my Spreaker public site for time and date change announcements.
This is GJR Broadcasting.